Education plays an important role in the Philippines. For Filipinos, having good education is tantamount to having a good future and a greener pasture in life. However, data from the Philippine Statistics Authority's annual poverty indicator survey in 2017 recorded 2.97 million out-of-school youths aged 16 to 24, which was already down from the 3.32 million in 2016. The most common reasons why children and the youth opted out of school include family matters, lack of personal interest, and the high cost of education or financial concerns. Because in the face of extreme poverty, families often sacrifice the education of their children, opting to put the little money that they have in more immediate needs. However, in this episode of Caravan of Love, let's see how one man's genuine kindness has given the community an access to education, answering the prayers of every parent to send their children, even just in secondary school. Aside from other social services, the Philippine government puts more emphasis on providing quality education to the Filipino children and youths. In fact, the 1987 Constitution guarantees the rights of every citizen to quality and accessible education and provides that the state shall assign the highest budgetary priority to education. And over the years, the government has been making strides in improving the educational system in the country. However, like any other endeavors, this push to have better access to quality education is not without challenges. Poverty is one of the leading causes of Filipino children and youth to go out of school. And ironically, the Filipinos also consider having good education as a ticket to a greener pasture. The Philippine Statistics Authority or PSA's annual poverty indicator survey in 2017 recorded 2.97 million out-of-school youths aged 16 to 24, which was already down from the 3.32 million in 2016. Moreover, the PSA also created the new multidimensional poverty index. The index scaling from 0 to 100 provides information on the least access dimensions of Filipinos, which included education, housing, water and sanitation, health and nutrition, and employment. This also matches the income-based measures of poverty. With this, Filipinos were found to be mostly lacking in educational attainment, garnering the highest index of deprivation among Filipino families at 59.3% in 2016 and 49.4% in 2017. The agency said the result is equivalent to 6 out of 10 families in 2016 and 5 out of 10 families in 2017 have at least one member who did not complete basic education. Aside from the scarcity of finances, there is also the gap between the educational distribution in rural and urban areas in the country. In fact, the rural educational attainment continues to lag behind that of the urban areas. In most provinces, education inequality within rural areas largely contributes the most to their respective overall education inequalities. A large number of Filipino children still have limited access to elementary and secondary schools in their areas, particularly in the public school system, especially in the remote parts of the country. This is aside from the perennial problem of lack of classrooms, textbooks, and scarcity of qualified teachers to teach the students. Some communities only have elementary schools. The children need to walk long miles and sometimes cross rivers to go to the nearest secondary school. The absence of quality education in remote and isolated areas lessens the interest of the children and the youth in pursuing their studies. The Department of Education, or DepEd, which is the agency tasked to supervise the country's education system, has slated projects, programs, and other initiatives to cater the needs of every Filipino student. And to address the problems and challenges the education sector is facing, the government said it is implementing various programs to resolve the problems. Although it remains short of what it should be giving, the DepEd provides school facilities, teaching personnel, and other paraphernalia to initiating programs and partnering with international agencies.
Actually, that is now the direction of the Department of Education. We are targeting that there should be no child who would walk beyond 3 kilometers from home to school. Part of the programs that we are doing for those students who wouldn't go to school due to distance and poverty is this. We are now about to launch this self-paced distance learning modules that can be used for students who wouldn't like to report to schools due to distance and poverty.
These education reforms seek to beef up the enrollment and graduation rates and have more years of schooling for both the elementary and secondary education and improve the quality of higher education. Above all, the quality of education that the teachers gives to its students, making sure that it meets the standards needed to be at par with other countries, especially in ever-changing landscape of digital technology. Although the government can only do as much, it is also thankful for the private individuals and companies and other stakeholders who goes out to them and help them in bringing quality education for all. Clearly educated in the Philippines has a long road to tread ahead, more room for improvements, more issues to address, and more new systems to implement and discover. However, one thing is certain, the government continues to work hand in hand with private stakeholders to continue providing quality education for all the learners.
We're gearing up for 2020 to kick off a decade of action to deliver the global goals. The global goals is the driving force of world leaders from 193 countries to end global poverty, build a life of dignity for all, and leave no one behind. The Caravan of Love is heading in that same direction. Yes, we're a team. We believe that partnerships and collaboration are important. All of us have an individual, collective responsibility and ability towards action and impact. The Sustainable Development Goals were designed with an agenda that recognizes that ending poverty must go hand in hand with a plan that builds economic growth and concentrate on a range of social needs, while simultaneously tackling climate change. Our response should be urgent. Yes, the time is now. The risks facing hundreds of millions of people living in fragile and conflict-affected society are rising. We must speed up on our push towards reaching the most excluded and discriminated in our society. No one should be left behind. By 2030, we are looking at a world with a better future for everyone. Let's ride on the Caravan of Love to make it happen. We must all act together to make our planet sustainable. Yes, we can make the global goals possible.
Barangay Tamayong in Kalinan, Davao City is situated right at the foothills of Mount Apo and is also one of the distant villages in the city. And like any other far-flung areas in the Philippines, this village was also among those communities that are plagued with the lack of secondary schools in their area. With this, parents were compelled to send their children to the next town, where they need to walk 2 to 3 kilometers or more or take tricycle, which adds to the cost of their daily expenses.
Itong wala pang high school diha, lisod ang kahimtang sa mga estudyante. Ang uban wala nag-eskwela, kutob lang grade 6. Wala kutob lang grade 6 ang uban, kay ang uban nga nag-graduate, manarbaho pa para i-prepare nila sa sunod nga open sa high school para mag-eskwela dito sa Kalinan, Ederserib. Di pareha karon diri nga nanay high school nga duol, so sayon na kay sa mga bata, sayon na kay sa mga ginikanan po.
Sa una pa nung di pa nagdonate si Pastor Kibuloy ng lupa, pumupunta sila sa sa Sirib, sa malapit na barangay na kung saan tumatawid sila ng sapa. Kung malakas ang ulan, di na sila makakapasok kasi pag pumasok sila baka tumatawid sila sa sapa, baka maanod sila, madisgrasya sila. So minsan di sila nakakapasok.
So way back those years, the Barangay Tamayong doesn't have secondary school to cater the needs of those elementary graduates from Tamayong Elementary and Pedro Rodriguez Elementary School. Parents tend to pay high for the education of their children since they have to send their children to the nearby barangay offering secondary school, which is Kalinan and Barangay Sirib. And in that sense, they are paying much on the transportation. And unfortunately, for those parents that are not financially inclined, tend not to send their children to secondary schools and could no longer proceed to higher education because of those lack of finances.
But all of these changed with the establishment of the Jose T. Kibuloy Senior National High School in 2008 through the generosity of Pastor Apollo C. Kibuloy of the Kingdom of Jesus Christ, who donated 1 hectare lot to build a secondary school for the children of Barangay Tamayong. Jose T. Kibuloy Senior National High School was named after and in honor of Pastor Apollo's father, Jose Turla Kibuloy Sr., who was a wordsmith, novelist, teacher, and agriculturist. The school was established to give the children a chance to have a good and quality high school education. Elementary graduates coming from Tamayong and Pedro Hill Elementary Schools can now have a chance to go to school without minding the distance and the high cost of transportation and going to school.
Anda ko kayo ang usapan. Sa una, maningkamot yun nga manarabaho ang ilahang anak nga mo tabang sa ilaha kay aron naay mapundo nga pang alawan sa mga bata. Di paras karon nga ang mga bata di nakaayo sila mo kuan pa sa umah kay tungod kay di para sa una nga kuan gyud mo umag gyud ang mga bata kay aron lang naay kay dako mga gusto ko nun sa una. Malaking epekto sa Barangay Tamayong ang pagkakaroon ng high school. Ang ginikanan murag magpasalamat yun sa pagkakaroon ng high school nga sama sa gidunit ni Pastor Kibuloy.
Ako na ako'y estudyante diha high school. Dako kay ko pasalamat ug dako kay ko kining kalipay nga naay high school diha nga duol. Kay kami mga ginikanan maka-minimize mis gasto ba. Diha kay na may high school nga gidonate ni Pastor area o kapag karon nga naay eskwelahan nga duol, murag encourage na kay sila. Sa una discourage kay sila sa una tungod sa financial. Ang unang tabang ni Pastor nga dako kayo kanang eskwelahan kay forever nga education na mabalon sa mga bata. So forever since nga kanos mahuman ang ilang eskwela dili sila malimot kay Pastor tungod sa eskwelahan nga ilang gitugod.
But with the institution of this This school, Jose T. Quiboloy Senior National High School, through the help of the stakeholders present in this barangay, particularly the Kingdom of Jesus Christ, through Pastor Apollo C. Quiboloy, wherein he donated a part of his land, wherein this school is now being situated. All the people of this barangay benefited in this donation or support coming from Pastor Apollo C. Quiboloy, wherein those parents could now send their children in the secondary schools because the school is very near to their households.
From having only a handful of classrooms way back in 2008, Jose T. Quiboloy Senior National High School now have more school buildings and more classrooms that they could cater hundreds of students from first year to senior high school.
Dako kaayo nga natabang si Pastor Apollo si Quiboloy dito sa atong eskwelahan. Pag sugod pa lang sa eskwelahan 2008, so nakita nato nga daghan na kaayo nga mga improvement ang hitabo diri sa eskwelahan. So tungod na sa tabang ni Pastor. So kung wala si Pastor, dili jud kabot sa eskwelahan ang ani nga level of improvement karon sa atong eskwelahan. Kaya ang atong mga school buildings na natay mga additional na school buildings na itukod na naa pa dyan moabutay karon ng building na pod na ipatukod sa diri sa eskwelahan. So dili lang school building ang natabang ni Pastor dili, kundi ang yuta mismo i-donate ni Pastor, ang atong friends nag-donate po si Pastor o kanang atong stage karon nga dako jud nang natabang sa mga bata.
Pastor Apollo's commitment to provide quality education and help the people of Barangay Tamayong have a brighter future extends beyond the walls of Jose T. Quiboloy National High School. The Children's Joy Foundation incorporated a foundation which the good pastor also founded to help the underserved children also reach out to Barangay Tamayong Elementary School by bringing its mobile computer laboratory to bridge the digital divide, especially in this far-flung area. The CJFI provided computer units to Tamayong Elementary School to aid the students' learning capabilities, especially in this digital era.
Tamayong Elementary School was chosen as one of the beneficiary of this program because this is where Pastor Apollo C. Quiboloy was born. And being the founder of Children's Joy, he wanted to give back to the small children in this community, especially those who have not so much in their lives. And the other thing that why we focus on elementary school, because according to the data, 70% of the public schools in the country have no even one single computer that a student can learn to use. So that's why we are focusing on those elementary school which are in the depressed communities, so that this concern or this problem can be addressed, and we would like to become part of that concern.
Mapasalamat ko sa Children's Joy Foundation Incorporated nga gipanguluhan sa umbrella ni Pastor Apollo Quiboloy sa iyang staff nga naa jud diri sa amo sa Tamayong. Kami ang recipient sa first na nakagunit sa computer, kay brand new gid siya. Importante gid ni kay computer kay pag dili sila ready ani murag behind jud sila sa work sa technology karon. Kay since our technology is more on computer, hindi talaga maglisod ang mga bata. Since computer world na taron, kailangan jud sila from the beginning strong ang ilang foundation about computer. So necessary yun nga sa elementary pa, equip na sila para mo face in the future.
Since atong mga student is digital native, or they're really born sa nga ganing sa computer, so I really envision them to become equipped with the 21st century learning, and part of that is the ICT zone. To Pastor Apollo Sikibuloy, we would like to extend our very big thanks and gratitude for this help, especially karon nga natagaan na jud finally ang among school og ang computer. These computers talaga will help our learners to become equipped with the 21st century skills and learning. Salamat kaayo.
Thank you, Papa Pastor. Thank you, CDNI.
All these efforts always redound to one thing, and that is to give the children an access to quality education for the children of Barangay Tamayong. And this is one of the primary role of Jose T. Kibuloy National High School.
Pag-abot sa quality education, lahi ko diri sa Jose T. Kibuloy Senior National High School. Bisag gamay rami diri, pero makita jud natin nga ang mga extra diri, hindi jud sila nga matudlo sa atong mga estudyante. Bisag lagyo pa ang ilang mga balay, so moanhi jud sila sa eskwelahan para lang matudluan ang atong mga estudyante diri sa Jose T. Kibuloy Senior National High School.
Aside from equipping the children on what they need in the future by creating a community of learners and enhancing development and learning, Jose T. Kibuloy Senior National High School also reaches out to the community and promote the value of volunteerism and cooperation by participating in the annual Brigada Eskwela of the Department of Education. JTQ links with the local government of Barangay Tamayong as well as the parents of their students and other stakeholders, engaging the community to work together to improve the learning environment of the learners.
The eskwela is very important, and this is one of the programs of the Department of Education in order for us to show the value of volunteerism as well as the value of cooperation, because we believe that we cannot be able to do this alone in the Department of Education. Of course, it is very evident that Jose Kibuloy National High School is really soaring high, especially for this school year, for this 2019 Brigada Eskwela implementation, because as you can see, as you can witness, there are many changes that happened for this school year, especially on physical facilities, as well as with our teaching and learning processes of our teachers and our students. So I can say that it is very evident that Jose Kibuloy National High School is really different from other schools.
And for 3 consecutive years, Jose T. Kibuloy National High School bagged the first place in Best Implementing Schools for Brigada Eskwela for the medium school category in the high school level. Aside from this, the school also joins the list of the Hall of Famers for the Best Implementing School after consistently landing in the first spot since school years 2017 to 2018, 2018 to 2019, and 2019 to 2020.
I will grab this opportunity to thank the man behind with this Hall of Fame award, Pastor Apollo Kibuloy, the Executive Pastor of the Kingdom of Jesus Christ, for his unending support to the school. Salamat din po, Pastor, sa iyong tulong, at ganun din sa Barangay Council, the new administration of Barangay Tamayong, the constituents, for your support and volunteerism to the school. Thank you so much. Congratulations to Jose T. Kibuloy Senior National High School Hall of Fame Award.
This is actually to congratulate the Jose T. Kibuloy Senior High School for receiving the Hall of Fame Award. Of course, this award would not have been possible if not for Pastor Apollo C. Kibuloy. His support to everyone.
Jose Tiquibuloy Senior National High School is so grateful and thankful of our stakeholders, particularly the Kingdom of Jesus Christ through Executive Pastor Apollo Tiquibuloy. Because without the help, without the resources given, generosity coming from Pastor, all of those projects will not be realized, will not be possible. So with that big help coming from our private sector, from Pastor, we were able to come up with good, unique, and very relevant projects for the benefit of our students.
With all these developments, the whole community of Jose T. Kibuloy National High School is very much thankful to Pastor Apollo C. Kibuloy for uplifting the lives of everyone by helping the barangay, from providing clean water to passable roads up to giving their children an access to education.
Kay Pastor Apollo C. Kibuloy, dagang salamat sa tanan na naitabang mo diri sa Barangay Tamayong. Unang-una, nag-donate po kayo ng lupa na kung saan makatulong ito sa mga kabataan na magkaroon sila ng magandang edukasyon, mga daan, magandang daanan, mga water system, at mga daycare center para sa mga bata. Siguro kung wala si Pastor Apollo Kibuloy, ang mahirap siguro na maabot ng mga kabataan dito yung mga pangarap nila sa buhay. So, dagang salamat kayo, mahal na Pastor Apollo Kibuloy.
Kay Pastor Apollo Kibuloy, dako kayo migpasalamat sa Barangay Tamayong tungod kay sa diha nga nitabang ka ni diri sa amo sa barangay. Dako na ang kausaban sa Barangay Tamayong. Sa muna nga dili namo kalimtan ang mga katabang o mga nahimo nimo sa among barangay. Kay nasayod mi nga pinaagi sa imuha nga pagtabang sa Barangay Tamayong, dako gyud ang kausaban, nausab gyud ang Barangay Tamayong.
Surely these developments does not only help the students and their families, but the whole community as well. Because a community with good meaning and well-educated people will eventually see growths and expansions.